It's the final day of the Rotoni Romano Christmas Tournament. Hello, everybody, and welcome inside of Tewksbury Memorial High School. I'm Andrew Della Piana, and for today's action to start, we have the girls' consolation game between the Wilmington Wildcats and the Tewksbury Redmen. Both these teams, of course, losing on Monday to play in this game. For Wilmington, it was a 40-22 setback to that they really struggled from the field. Just 22% for the Cats. And on the other hand, for the Redmen, dropping that one 50-46 to the Bedford Buccaneers. The winner of those two teams will square off tonight at around 5:15. But for third place, it's the Redmen in the Cats in just a little bit. Your starting lineups tonight, we'll start with the visitors from Wilmington. It's Jill Collins, number 5. Number 12, Erin McCarthy. Number 13, Charlotte Forcina. Number 14, Allie D. Geldinio. And number 32, Ava Boudreau. And for the Redmen, it's number 2, Vanessa Iandoli. Number 3, Michaela Stovsand. Number 12, Emily Pitcher. Number 15, Reagan Maniscalco. And number 23, Sophia Capiello getting the start for the Redmen. Tewksbury in their home whites. They'll start this game going from left to right, while Wilmington in the road blues with Script Wilmington across the front. They will go from right to left. The ball is up and we are underway. The Redmen earning first possession into the hands of their star forward, Emily Pitcher, coming off an 18-point performance against Bedford. And the Redmen starting off on the wrong foot with an early turnover thanks to a travel. Both these teams having a little bit of a stretch off since playing on Monday. Usually the schedule Tuesday into Friday, and then you come back again on Tuesday for your regular scheduled week. But for both teams, it was that loss on Monday. No practice on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. You get the practice yesterday, and then right back into game action today. Redmen keep possession, 30 seconds gone in our opening quarter. We're still scoreless. Maniscalco, the inbounder, she'll send it away to Pitcher, who came off 7 steals on the defensive end in that game on Monday, and she's got the first 2 points of the night here on Friday. Emily Pitcher, who had a rough game back on Friday. You look at those 18 points and you say, how can you say that? But she missed plenty of layups. And as someone who really struggled from the field, she shot a text to Coach McNult after that game, saying she couldn't stop thinking about that all night long, but using it as motivation today, getting the first 2 points on the board for the Redmen. Wilmington at work on offense. The 3 from Erin McCarthy hits front rim, and the offensive rebound for the Cats. Ball pinballs around and finds the hands of Vanessa Iandoli, and the Redmen force the one and done. Just over 1 minute gone in the first quarter. Tewksbury 2, Wilmington nothing here in the consolation game. Reagan Maniscalco, 14 points back on Monday. She's been a star freshman so far. She'll get off to Iandoli, who knocks down the triple. The Redmen off to a 5-0 start 90 seconds into the contest, thanks to a layup by Emily Pitcher, followed by the deep triple by Iandoli. Here's Allie Delgenio, one of the stars for Wilmington. Can't get that layup to convert, and the Redmen are going to push the pace back the other way. Maniscalco turns the ball over. She gets it right back, and she's fouled on that second effort. She'll go to the line and shoot 2. That one goes against Erin McCarthy for her first personal foul. It's the freshman Reagan Maniscalco shooting 2. Rims out on the first. Very interesting to see a freshman drop right in the starting lineup in the first couple of games of the season. Reagan Maniscalco, who's kind of been part of the program since when she was younger. Joel McNult, who's in his 4th year as coaching, found her as part of the summer camp that the Redmen do during the summertime, of course. And Maniscalco really stood out to Coach Joel McNult. She got some time with the JV team when the team played in fall ball, and eventually worked her way up to the varsity team here to start in the winter. Redmen with the 6-0 lead, 2 minutes gone in the first quarter. Wilmington still looking for that first bucket. Here's Delgenio on the drive. She'll kick it out to Jill Collins for the corner 3. Too strong, last off of Wilmington. Back possession goes to the Redmen. Redmen have looked good defensively in this first opening minutes. After a nice back and forth battle with the Buccaneers on Monday. Redmond break the half-court trap by Wilmington. Iandoli, a corner three. Bingo! What a start for Vanessa Iandoli. 2 shots, 2 triples, and the Redmen are out to a 9-0 lead. Just over 2.5 minutes gone in the first quarter. The key for Joe McNaught this year has really been getting out to that fast start, putting some pressure on the opposing team, and they've done just that in this first quarter. And another turnover by Wilmington. Ali DeGenio walking with the basketball before getting the shot off. As the Wildcats bring in some pressure in the backcourt. Emily Pitcher being hounded by Charlotte Forcina, and Joel McNaught has to burn a timeout. Not even 3 minutes gone in the first quarter. Tewksbury leading 9-0 thanks to a pair of triples from Vanessa Iandoli. The Redmen rolling at the moment. We'll be right back after a short break. A hot start for the Redmen here in the consolation game of the Tony Romano Christmas Day Tournament. Welcome back into Tewksbury Memorial High School. Andrew Del Piano with you here on this Friday afternoon. Redmen leading 9-0 with 5 minutes to go in our opening quarter. 6 points so far from Vanessa Iandoli, that coming off of just 2 shots as well. Emily Pitcher cutting the hole, she'll kick it out. Iandoli tries another. She's got it! What a start for number 2. She's got 9 points, and the Redmen out to a 12-0 lead. Delgenio trying to answer the call. She gets blocked from behind. Redmen make the first substitution of the ballgame. Paige Crowley replacing Michaela Stovsan. But Vanessa Iandoli, someone who's a little bit undersized at the guard position. A couple of catch-and-shoot threes. Is a perfect 3 for 3 from the field, 3 for 3 from behind the arc. Wilmington looking for some sort of answer offensively. Still looking for their first points of the game. But they turn it over once again. Iandoli outlet pass to Capiello, who gets their defender to jump and scores. Chris Fasori not liking what he's seeing from the Cats, and the Redmen are out to a 14-0 lead, not even halfway through this first quarter. What a start it's been for Tewksbury. Couldn't ask for a better start if you're head coach Joel McNaught for Tewksbury. The Redmen up 14-0 over Wilmington here in the consolation game of the Tony Romano Christmas Tournament. Andrew Del Piano back with you from the Romano Gymnasium. 6th annual tournament here at TMHS. The Redmen and Wildcats both yet to win this tournament. For Coach McNaught, he said it was a big monkey off the back that this team is still trying to get over the hump of winning their own tournament here in this building, now going on for a 6th straight year. But he's got to be pleased, though, with the defense of the Redmen so far as they force another turnover. Maniscalco, a little hesitation. She'll kick it back out, get a fresh possession for the Redmen to set up shop. Wilmington staying in a to a man-to-man defense. We spoke with Chris Fasori before this week's edition of games. He said it could vary between games. Reach-in foul goes against Charlotte Forcina. One against McCarthy, the other against Forcina. 2 team fouls. Redmen make a substitution as well. Number 10, Nicole Barron checking in for Sophia Capiello, who's got the most recent points part of this 14-0 run. And Barron comes right in the ballgame and takes an extra step for a travel. Tewksbury 14, Wilmington nothing. 3:35 and counting left in the opening quarter. Ava Boudreau, who's the leading scorer for Wilmington, really got to get her going. And she faced some contact from Nicole Barron for the first team foul for Tewksbury. Ava Boudreau, who's been part of this varsity team for 3 years now, in her 2nd season as a captain. Pitcher gets her fingertips on that pass intended for Boudreau. Her father, Tim, became the first 1,000-point scorer in Tewksbury Memorial High School history back in 1987. He went on to play 4 years of football at Northeastern before that program ceased back in 2009. He was actually a freshman walk-on and eventually became a senior captain his senior season. Redmond still causing some troubles on defense. Iandoli coast to coast, too strong. Offensive rebound for Barron, can't get it to go. Defensive board pulled down by Jill Collins, the senior captain. Wilmington, a team that went to the state tournament just a year ago, returning 4 of the 5 starters in their starting lineup today. As the Wildcats just cannot take care of the basketball at the moment. Summer Sands checks in for Wilmington, replacing Charlotte Forcina. Forcina, the only starter that was not in the starting 5 last year for Wilmington for Chris Vasuri, part of that 11-11 season. They won a state tournament game to get in the Sweet 16, but eventually losing to the state champions in Foxborough in the Sweet 16. First miss for Iandoli of today's contest. She's now 3 for 4. Delgenio back the other way. She gets bumped, and she'll shoot 2. Wilmington looking for some sort of spark on offense. It's been a plethora of turnovers. They haven't gotten a lot of shots up. But Wilmington looking for their first points of the game via their senior captain, Ellie Delgenio. And she gets the friendly bounce. And after 5.5 scoreless minutes for the Cats, they're on the scoreboard. Michaela Stofsan back in the lineup for the Redmen, replacing pitcher. Delgenio gets both to fall, and it's 14-2 Tewksbury with 2.5 to go in the first quarter. Second year in this tournament for Wilmington. They did not meet in last year's edition. Wilmington lost in their tournament opener, and the Redmen went on to win their tournament opener, eventually lost the championship, though, to Chelmsford, who's looking for a three-peat later tonight. A lot of open space for Delgenio. She'll slash through the lane. Kick it out for Summer Sands, who tries a triple. Offensive rebound for Nicole Barron. Under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Tewksbury jumping out to a 14-2 lead, thanks to a 14-0 run to start the ball game. Paige Crowley coming off of her better performances of the season. She didn't light up the stat sheet, but Coach Golding-Nault said someone who's very versatile, can stretch the floor at any point. Barron straightaway 3. It's nothing but the backboard. Redmond have gone a little bit stale on offense since Chris Vasuri took that timeout with just about the halfway point of this quarter. Because Wilmington just on this 2-0 run over the last 3 minutes. Woodrow on the right wing. She'll drive hard with a left-hand put-up, a tough shot and scores. Nicole Barron with about the best defense you can put on Boudreau, but it doesn't pay off. And the Redmen getting a little bit lucky. The official saying Delgenio got a piece of that on the way out of bounds. Barron throws it away. Delgenio on the backdoor feed, can't get it to go. Jump ball. And what a feed that was from Erin McCarthy, as she saw Delgenio slipping to the bucket on the weak side. That jump ball puts possession in favor of Wilmington with 55 seconds to go in the first quarter. Tewksbury leading 14-4. Delgenio coming off the screen. She'll try a triple. Boudreau, the offensive board. Ball loose on the parquet. We'll jump it up. This one will be in possession of the Redmen. So this full court press for Wilmington paying a little bit of dividends after that 14-0 run. Maybe something Chris Vasuri didn't want to go to in this first quarter, but it's worked. They force another turnover in the backcourt. Delgenio, 14 there in blue, doing a good job with some active hands, forcing some steals away from number 1 Chloe Mello. About a 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. Wilmington with a pair of free throws and just one made field goal to get them those 4 points. Boudreau backing down Barron into the lane. She'll kick it out. Extra pass for Delgenio. Back inside for Boudreau. Puts up a tough shot. Some great defense by Barron. And we'll jump it up one more time. Nicole Barron, who entered this game with about 3 minutes left in the quarters, got the kitchen sink thrown at her with Ava Boudreau on defense. What a steal by Jill Collins to climb the ladder. 5 seconds left in the quarter. Wilmington's got to go. Del Genio, a long three is short, and that'll do it for the opening 8 minutes. The Redmen lead 14-4. Thanks to a 14-0 run to begin the ball game, but Wilmington doing a good job defensively to keep the Redmen at that point scoreless for about the final 3.5 minutes of that first quarter. We'll take a short break here on Tewksbury TV and be right back after this. Stay with us. Second quarter action about to get underway here from the Romano, with Tewksbury leading 14-4 here in the consolation game of the girls division in the Tony Romano Christmas Tournament. Andrew Del Piano with you on this Friday afternoon from TMHS. Wilmington to start this frame with the basketball. Currently on a mini 4-0 run over the last 4 minutes after Tewksbury jumped out to a 14-0 lead. 9 points from Vanessa Iandoli in that first quarter to pace the Redmen. Travel from Ava Boudreau. She'll slam the ball in frustration after another Wilmington turnover. They had a bunch in that first quarter. But the good thing is not a lot of live ball turnovers. More so travels. Maniscalco inside pass for Pitcher. She's wrapped up right away. And the foul goes against number 32 in blue in Ava Boudreau. .30 seconds gone in the second quarter. Tewksbury 14, Wilmington 4. Inbound pass goes right to Chloe Mello, who banks a triple. Redmond now with 4 of them in this first half. 3 from Iandoli, 1 now from Mello off the bench. Pitcher wanting to push the pace back the other way. She'll escape the double team of Del Genio and Collins. Mello inside feed for Cappiello, making her first start of the season. Dribbles it off her right foot. Mello along 2. Too strong. Cappiello right there for the board, and she's fouled from behind. What a nice jolt of energy Sophia Cappiello has been in this ball game. Junior captain has not started in these first 4 games. Well, Wilmington bringing a little bit more size to the table than the first 4 teams the Redmen have seen this season. So you go with a little bit more height in Cappiello, and it's paid off so far. She knocks down the first one. 18-4, the Redmen advantage. Minute gone in the second quarter. Rims out on the second. Ava Boudreau to operate the orb on this possession. Hands it off for Del Genio. A high arcing layup. Might have gotten tipped by Stosan. Maniscalco, top of the key. Sidestep, another long 2 short. And the rebound finds the hands of Del Genio. Boudreau quickly up the court over the hands of Maniscalco. The triple from McCarthy is too strong. Feel like Wilmington rushed that possession just a little bit. Got away from the hands of Maniscalco, and here she is on the other end. Can't get the layup to fall. Cappiello, another offensive rebound, and she gets hacked once again. Just no one under the basket in a blue jersey, and Cappiello says, "Just this for me, thank you." Third team foul already for Wilmington in the second quarter, not even 2 minutes in. There's one more foul to give for Wilmington, and that puts Tewksbury in the bonus. Redmond picking up right where they left off back on Monday in the offensive rebound category. They had 12 in that game, really kept themselves alive against the Bucks, who were really potent on offense. Boudreau straight away through. Bingo! That one's got to be a good confidence builder for Ava Boudreau as she records her first 2 points of the night. Her first 3 points, I should say. Makes it a 27 game under 2 minutes played in the first half. And the travel goes against Mello. Pair of substitutions in for the Redmen. Iandoli back in, replacing Stovson and Mello. And Olivia Trider makes her first appearance off the bench today. Boudreau, free throw line jumper, off the heel. Maniscalco will slow things down in the right corner, and she'll pull the trigger. Got it! Reagan Maniscalco makes you think she's going to drive inside, then a little step back three, and the Redmen have opened up a 23-7 advantage with 5 minutes and change to go in the first half. A hard drive by Elgenio, and she gets the contact. That one going against Maniscalco. As Delgenio was the recipient of the first 2 points of the game for Wilmington, coming just about 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter. As the Wilmington offense has really struggled to pick anything up. Coming off a season worst 22 points against Chelmsford back on Monday. Now credit Chelmsford, one of the best defenses Wilmington will see all season long. Redmond with an on-man rush here. Trider through the lane, high off the glass, no. Pinballs around. Boudreau yo-yos in place, a spin move to get away from their defender, with a block from behind by Pitcher. Oh, that could have been a highlight play for Wilmington as Boudreau with the beautiful spin move fouled Delgenio, a fellow senior captain, but Pitcher with the stuff from behind. Inbound goes into Summer Sands, but she was out of bounds. It's been little mistakes like that have kind of allowed Redmond to take this 15-point lead with under 5 minutes to go in the first half. Like I said, not a lot of live ball turnovers from the Cats, just kind of errant mistakes. In the hands of Maniscalco. A triple, short. Last off of Pitcher will be Wilmington basketball. Coach McNaught talking to his sideline right now, says he wants to see a little bit more communication from this unit. Something he's really harped on in the last couple of days of practice, or yesterday I should say in practice. Sands, left to right crossover through the lane. Some great defense by Trider to force the miss. The Redmen like to run. Maniscalco right to left crossover. Lost possession of the ball, gets it back, trapped in the corner, and it's called a jump ball. Redmen keep possession. Barron and Crowley back in the lineup, replacing Capiello and Maniscalco. That's kind of one of the things you want to see a little bit better from your freshmen. Again, Maniscalco with a lot of years ahead of her at high school basketball, but not really rushing things when they don't need to be rushed on offense. Trider got her defender to bite. Iandoli off the catch. She's got another. 4 triples for Vanessa Iandoli. She is single-handedly outscoring Wilmington at the moment. 26-8, the Redmond lead with 3.5 to go in the first half. A hard drive by Elgenio. She scoops and scores. Redmond were a little bit late back on defense after the triple from Iandoli. Pitcher slicing through the lane. Wilmington running and gunning back the other way. Delgenio high off the glass and gets the friendly bounce. 26-12, the Redmond lead with 3 minutes and change left in the second quarter. Redmond escaped the half-court press from Wilmington. Pitcher slows things down. Barron with a spin move of her own. Iandoli, another off the catch, off the back iron and out. Boudreau with a football pass the lane to the floor, and I want to say an easy 2 for Erin McCarthy, but she missed the layup. Pitcher, stop and go. Extra pass for Pitcher. Drives past one, puts up a floater. And the Redmen having a little bit trouble after that three-pointer by Iandoli. No one picking up Summer Sands as she'll drive through the lane, leave it off for Del Gino, but she traveled. 2:18 to go in the second quarter. Tewksbury leading 26-12. Team's getting a little bit sloppy here in the final moments of this first half. Wilmington really only running a 6 to 7 man rotation for Chris Vasori, so those starters for Wilmington, you're going to see them about all game long. Iandoli, the hot hand, she'll pull the trigger again, got it! Unbelievable from Vanessa Iandoli. That's her 5th triple of this first half. She's accounted for more than half of the Redmen points in this 29-12 lead with 1:43 to go in the first half. Someone who really wasn't known for their scoring ability entering this season. What a first half explosion it's been for number 2. Here's Leah Murphy at the line for Wilmington, misses the first, seeing her first appearance off the bench today. Part of that 7-8 man rotation that third-year head coach Chris Vasori runs. Vasori also the head coach of the girls lacrosse program for Wilmington. Also an alumni of the high school as well, was a 3-sport athlete back there. Foul goes against Leah Langone. But for Vasori, an alumni of Wilmington, played 4 years of collegiate football at Worcester State before coming back and has really had his hands just about anything. Was a volunteer with the boys varsity team just a couple of years ago, then 4 years as the freshman boys coach at Wilmington. Also spent 3 years as the JV baseball coach as well. This guy has been all over the map for the Cats. Crowley slashing through the lane. Might have gotten hit on the face by Del Genio. Wilmington down by 16. A 3 from the corner for McElligott. She got it. Allie McElligott getting on the board. Someone who Coach Vasori said has really flown under the radar this season. Someone super athletic, plays softball in the spring, soccer in the fall. Said she's someone who mirrors Jill Collins at the beginning of her career, someone who's kind of just gained a lot more confidence as the season has gone on. And Reagan Maniscalco, the freshman, getting 2 at the line for the Redmen. It's the first. 30-16, the Tewksbury advantage. Exactly 60 seconds frozen in the second quarter clock. Re-extend the lead to 15 for Tewksbury. McElligott trying to continue the hot hand. Can't get the floater to drop. And she fouls, that Murphy on the foul, about 200 feet away from the basket. And that's the the fifth team foul against Wilmington, putting Tewksbury in the bonus. It was Crowley who got fouled in the backcourt, and she'll shoot 2 at the charity stripe. Crowley short arms the first. Nothing but net on the second. Redmen have doubled up Wilmington. It's 32-16 with 45 seconds and counting left in our half. Strider gets the assignment of Murphy here on this possession. Collins, well defended by Iandoli, who's got 15 points in this first half. And El Genio tried to have that ball stripped away from her, but Paige Crowley got her hands in the cookie jar and whacked El Genio on the right wrist. First personal against Crowley, third team foul for the Redmen. Shot clock is now dead with 29 seconds to go in the half. Ball on the floor, intercepted by Crowley, and we'll jump it up. Wilmington keeps possession, but you can tell that energized the Redmen bench, also energized Joel McNulty as well on the Redmen sideline. .6 to go in the first half. Redmen 32, Wilmington 16. In the consolation game of the Tony Romano tournament, Boudreau puts up a contested shot, but she got hands of white jerseys wrapped all over her. Ava Boudreau, we've talked a lot about in this first half. Can't convert on the first one. Someone who's been pretty well defended in this one. Wilmington's leading scorer entering today. Wilmington gets their own miss, but it's a Redmen ball on the jump ball. 15 ticks to go in the second quarter. Tewksbury 32, Wilmington 16. Wilmington goes back to that full court press. The Redmen escape with ease. Got some time now to get up a quality shot. Maniscalco will get it. She'll dish it off for Crowley, who pulls the trigger. Too strong, and that does it for half number one. The Redmen headlined with 15 points from Vanessa Iandoli in half number one to get them to a 32-16 advantage over Wilmington here in the consolation game of the Tony Romano tournament. We'll take a short halftime break here on Tewksbury TV, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Second half action about to get underway here from the Romano Gymnasium in the third place game of the Tony Romano Christmas Tournament in the girls division. After 16 minutes of play, it's Tewksbury 32 and Wilmington 16. Again, thank you for joining us here from TMHS. My name's Andrew Del Piana. As we just are about to begin the second half, what a first half it was for the Redmen jumping out to that, a first half it was for the Redmen jumping out to that 14-0 lead, and then eventually growing this to a 16-point lead. A big factor of that, 15 points from Vanessa Iandoli, all 15 of those points coming from downtown. And she only took about 7 shots in that first half, and of course all 7 of them from deep, and you get 5 of them to fall, so it's a pretty good start if you're number 2 wearing white today. Wilmington to start with the basketball here in the second half. Redmen coming out in a hard zone defense, looking to keep Wilmington's struggles on the offensive end. And a very tight zone defense, as you will, as Michaela Stofsan tripping up Ava Boudreau to start the second half. And the thing Coach Joel McNulty said about Michaela Stofsan is she's very quiet. She shows the same body language all the time, so you never know if it'll be a frustration foul, if she did something really good. She's always very even keel, which is something to have as one of your senior captains. Redmen force a turnover, get their first possession of the second half. Iandoli, the ball handler, the teardropper way short. And Stofsan tried to knock that out of bounds, but it was last off of her. It's Wilmington basketball. Number 5 for Wilmington, Jill Collins, a little bit shaken up on that last play. He's favoring that right leg just a little bit. Interesting to keep an eye on that. She's got the basketball right now in that left corner, and she turns it away. But Boudreau gets it right back, but then throws it away. A game of hot potato in the last 10 seconds. I don't want it, you want it, I don't want it either. Either way, Redmen leading 32-16 with just a minute played in the third quarter. Iandoli with a great pass to Capiello, gets her defender to bite and scores. She used that move well in the first half as well to get Boudreau to bite and score. The Wilmington Wildcats just haven't picked up on it. Delgino turns it over. Emily Pitcher waiting right in the wings to intercept it. Capiello making her first start of the season, directing traffic, but she's called for the travel. A little miscommunication with her and Reagan Maniscalco, and the two of them will laugh it off, trotting back down into the backcourt. It's game one of our doubleheader today on Tewksbury TV. Later tonight at around 7 o'clock, we'll have the boys' championship between Tewksbury and Burlington, which should be a good one. Burlington already off to a 4-0 start this season, led by 10th-year head coach Phil Connors, who was the head coach of Tewksbury for about 5 years back in the early part of the 2010s. Really turned that program around, and now Steve Boudreau trying to do the same for the Redmen on the boys' side of things. Again, that'll be a 7 o'clock tip right here on Tewksbury TV. We got two games sandwiched in between. It's the boys' consolation of Bedford and Chelmsford after this one, and then the girls' championship between Bedford and Chelmsford. So we get back-to-back doses of Bedford and Chelmsford. 2 minutes gone in the third quarter. Tewksbury leading 34-16. Iandoli off the catch one more time. It's an air ball. Something we haven't seen for her a whole lot today. Miguel got the pull-up jumper off the left rim and out. Last off Iandoli, she couldn't corral the defensive board. Joe Collins still on the floor for Wilmington. Boudreau into some traffic, throws it up, well contested. Wilmington stays with it, though. Delgenio got her left foot out of bounds when she threw it back in play. Great job of the Redmen to escape the half-court press. Iandoli swatted by Boudreau. She barely even left her feet. These two schools more known for their football rivalry. Just about a month or so, they had their 91st meeting on the gridiron. And the Redmen picking up a victory in that one to win 14 straight over the Wildcats on Thanksgiving Day. And now girls basketball trying to do the same. Not their 14th straight win over Wilmington, but still a steadily advantage in this season series. Pitchard, a nice crossover. She'll kick it out for Stofsan at 2. Way too strong. Possession still alive for the Redmen, or so we thought. Maniscalco to turnover. 34-16, the Redmen advantage. Only 2 points in this third quarter from either side in the opening 3 minutes. That came thanks to an easy bucket for Sophia Capiello, the junior captain for Tewksbury. Boudreau well defended, inside, and a foul. Leah Murphy had about 3 white jerseys draped all over her. She threw it up in some contest. Just about 3 minutes gone in the third quarter. Tewksbury 34, Wilmington 16 here in the third place game. Number 1, Chloe Mello, and number 5, Paige Crowley back onto the floor, replacing number 2, Vanessa Iandoli, and number 3, Michaela Stofsan. Second one is good for Murphy. Redmen have doubled up Wilmington, and that'll stay the case. But Delgenio the steal. Collins puts it up. Gets her own miss. McCarthy for 3. Wilmington coming off a game where they only shot 5% from 3 in the 18-point loss to Chelmsford. Maniscalco, her shot might have gotten tipped. And it's last off the feet of Capiello. Redmen lead by 17 with 4.5 to go in the third quarter. Guards coming up all the way to the timeline for the Redmen to pressure the ball. Maniscalco sends it over for Mello. Call for the travel. Just 3 combined points in this third quarter, just about the halfway mark of this frame. 2 for the Redmen, 1 for Wilmington. Boudreau, a deep 3. That'll change that. Second triple for Ava Boudreau. And if Wilmington wants to get back into this game, someone they really have to rely on. Crowley drives right by her, took the bump, but no whistle. And now a jump ball. It's Redmen possession. Boudreau basically hitting that one from the MVC logo just in front of the Wilmington bench. And the Redmen jogging back on the offensive end. They weren't 100% sure that was their possession, but Wilmington started the half with the basketball. Mello from the left wing. Rattles home. First points for Chloe Mello of the ball game. And the Redmen are one of the better three-point shooting teams entering this tournament. Continue to pay off. Boudreau can't answer. Tewksbury leading 37-20 with 3:20 to go in the third. Crowley will try. And the Redmen starting to let it fly just a little bit more after a slow start to this third quarter. Nicole Barron returns to the floor for the Redmen, replacing Sophia Capiello. Wilmington with the basketball attacking the right hoop with 3:05 to go in the third frame. Down by 17. Murphy, a deep 3. Too strong off the heel. Maniscalco grabbed the rebound. She's fouled while trying to move in transition. And that one goes against Gil Collins, her first personal foul. Pitcher yo-yoing in place after an 18-point performance against Bedford on Monday. Also had 7 steals on the defensive end in that loss. Someone who's really picked things up here today. Good cut from Barron, but she got it out of her grasp. A little too much of a fastball there from Paige Crowley. Boudreau drives in the lane, tries to take it herself. Double team comes. Extra pass for Wilmington. McCarthy a 3. Way too much. Crowley gets the outlet pass from Maniscalco. She'll settle things down, and Delgenio forcing some trouble. Pair of substitutions for the Redmen. One in for Wilmington. Maniscalco in pitcher sit. Trider and Iandoli into the game, and Allie Delgenio will get a breather. And Summer Sands checks back in for Wilmington. Under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Tewksbury 37, Wilmington 20. Iandoli trying to spin off of Collins. She lost the handle on it. Outlet pass to Boudreau. Might have been a little bit too far in front of her, but she corrals. And she'll pull up. Rattles out. Offensive rebound for Summer Sands as she grabbed it over Crowley. And Crowley got a foul of that as well to boot. That's her third personal. Tewksbury 37, Wilmington 20, with 96 seconds to go in the third quarter. Stove Sand back in the lineup for Tewksbury. And Crowley with those 3 fouls. She'll take a seat. Inbound comes to Boudreau over the top, closely guarded by Chloe Mello in the 2-3 zone for the Redmen. Inside feed in some traffic, picked off by Barron. She read it well. Mello, left corner 3. Chloe Mello already with a trifecta in this third quarter. Boudreau trying to answer the favor. Pair rattle outs from distance in this quarter. Skip pass for Summer Sands, tries. Short. And Mello slowing things down for the Redmen. She's got Boudreau on her back and escapes the pressure. 50 seconds to go in the third quarter. Tewksbury 37, Wilmington 20. Redmen could have a 2-for-1 chance here, but it looks like they're going to take their time on offense. Extra pass for Barron, right wing. Dribble handoff for Mello. Tries a far corner three. Off the front of the rim. Rebound for Boudreau. Shot clock dead with 20 seconds and counting left in the quarter. McCarthy, inside feed for Collins, who scores. Nice pass from McCarthy to the cutting Collins. Redmen 37, Wilmington Wildcats 22 with 5 seconds to go in the third quarter. Barron to the cup. Collins gets it off, but it's well short, and that does it for quarter number 3. A low-scoring third quarter. Just 5 points for the Redmen, 6 for Wilmington. That has us at a 37-22 lead for the home team. Here in the third place game, the Tony Romano Tournament. We'll take one more break here on Tewksbury TV and get you ready for fourth quarter action after this. Time for fourth quarter action here from the Romano. Tewksbury 37, Wilmington 22. Appreciate all the viewership here on Tewksbury TV, including from West Palm Beach, Florida. A shout out to Vince Allen, my former broadcasting partner from back when I was in high school. Appreciate the listen, Vince, and hope you're doing well as well. 10 seconds gone in the fourth quarter, with Tewksbury leading by 15. Wilmington the first possession, and well defended by Michaela Stovsand. Again, this is the third place game of the Romano Tournament. It's game one of our doubleheader. We'll have Burlington and Tewksbury tonight in the boys' championship a little later at 7 o'clock. Wilmington looking to cut into this deficit, give themselves a chance in the final minutes of this game. But it's been all Redmen from the go. Tewksbury started this game on a 14-0 run and just really haven't looked back. It's been double digits basically all game. Murphy from the left wing rattles home, and Wilmington needed that one. Jump ball called as Maniscalco doubled right in front of the Wilmington bench. Lead 12 for the Redmen. After a low-scoring third quarter, only a combined 11 points between these two teams. Wilmington had 6, while Tewksbury just had 5. Good effort by Summer Sands to keep that ball alive. It'll be Redmen basketball. Quick breather for Ava Boudreau, who checks back in for Summer Sands. Both teams have their original starting 5 on the floor. For the Redmen, it's Iandoli, Stovsand, Pitcher, Maniscalco, and Capiello. For Wilmington, they counter with Collins, McCarthy, Forcino, Delgenio, and Boudreau. Quick 2 for Emily Pitcher. Lead back up to 14 for the Redmen with 90 seconds played in the fourth quarter. Great display of passing. It's McCarthy who can't get the 3 because it was blocked by Maniscalco. Jumped up at the right point to swat it away. Wilmington keeps possession thanks to the jump ball. The Redmen putting on a display of one of their better defensive efforts of the season. Delgenio nearly swiped from behind, but a reach in against the freshman. 6:15 to play in quarter number 4. Tewksbury 39, Wilmington 25. Both of these teams getting a long rest afterwards. Not playing until next Friday. Wilmington goes back home to play Watertown, while the Redmen are on the road to place Leominster next Friday. Some great defense by Stovsand. Got her hands right up. No foul called. Maniscalco on the baseline drive. She'll send it to the other side of the floor. And gets it back. Nice right to left crossover. Getting around Delgenio. Pulls up and a long 2. Maniscalco controlling that possession for about 15 seconds. basically played around the world on the offensive end to score. And now pitcher, the swat from behind, last stat on Delgenio. There's that Redmond defense that's been showing up all game long and has really frustrated the Wilmington offense. Stovsan called for the illegal screen as she was moving at the last moment. Second personal against Stovsan. Wilmington started off this final frame with the triple to make it a 12-point game, but the Redmen have ballooned it back up to 16, and some careless play by Murphy trying to throw that off of Stovsan. It pays no dividends. Inside feed for Stovsan. She gets rewarded on offense for the good defense. After she just committed the turnover on the illegal screen, she gets it right back on the offensive end. Tewksbury 43, Wilmington 25, 5 minutes to play. Delgenio well defended by pitcher. Last out on the Redmen. Crowley returns into the game. Allie McElligott back in for Wilmington. Allows Leah Murphy to get a breather. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Maniscalco telestrating that pass. He's got Collins from behind, the hoop and the harm. Reagan Maniscalco putting an exclamation point on this fourth quarter for the Redmen, as she read that pass like a book and took it end to end. And Chris Vasori, the head coach for Wilmington, will burn a timeout with 4:47 to go in the fourth quarter. The Redmen have taken their largest lead of the contest. It's 45-25. And we'll be right back for the conclusion after this. Wilmington trailing by 20. They just called a timeout with the Redmen looking to put a bow on this one, up by 20 with 4:47 to go in the fourth quarter. Back here from the Romano, Andrew Del Piano with you on this Friday afternoon in the third place game between Wilmington and Tewksbury. Maniscalco cashes in on the old school three-point play. Makes it a 46-25 Redmen advantage. Redmen on the verge of splitting this Romano tournament after losing game one back on Monday, and well in control here in the final 4.5 of the fourth. Collins trying to kick that basketball out to McCarthy. She was grabbed. Goes against Maniscalco. Campietto on the bench. Nicole Barron comes back in. She's been a nice spark plug off the bench. Collins getting around Iandoli, puts up a teardropper off the bank and in. And a nice hesitation move to get Iandoli moving, then drove right by her. Barron puts up a floater, and she's fouled on the way up. Goes against Ava Boudreau for her second personal. Both teams with 3 team fouls in this fourth quarter. Just about at the halfway mark of this final frame, with Tewksbury leading 46-27. The game they've had in control from the start after beginning this one in a 14-0 run. And Wilmington not scoring their first points until the 2.5-minute mark left in the first quarter. And as we talked about right off the top, the Redmen still yet to win their own tournament here in the 6th edition of the Tony Romano tournament. But they will have to wait to another year here in the consolation game. Boudreau with Barron draped all over. Tries to scoop layup, no good. Offensive rebound for Wilmington. Putback can't fall either. It's just been one of those days for Wilmington where they just can't get anything to drop. And the foul to boot against number 20, Allie McGalligot for Wilmington. Good ball movement by the Redmen, escaping the full court press with ease. And pitcher with a nice move around Collins. Hits the left rim. Crowley getting her hands in the mix, tipped off of number 5. She'll get a pat on the back there from fellow junior Chloe Mello. With 3:02 frozen on the fourth quarter clock, Tewksbury 46, Wilmington 27. Boudreau backing down on Barron. Spins to her right, throws up a shot. Can't get it to go, but she was fouled. We talked about Ava Boudreau's father right off the top, and Tim Boudreau, the first 1,000-point scorer in Tewksbury High School history back in 1987. And when those two were asked who's got the better jump shot, it was a clear consensus that it was the daughter of Ava that has the better jump shot than Tim. Of course, Tim going on to play 4 years at Northeastern. He was a freshman walk-on, eventually turned into a senior captain. And that was before for Northeastern. Their program ceased back in 2009. And it's still always a nice little homecoming here when Boudreau has played here in the last 2 years, and Tim gets to watch back at his alma mater. There's a three from McGalligot. Makes it a 46-31 game with 2.5 to go in the fourth. 3-on-1 for the Redmen. And Barron moved that right foot. Two fresh faces in the game for the Redmen. Joel McNult starting to empty out the bench. Number 21, Olivia Rowan in for Tewksbury, as well as number 13, Riley Stevenson. Now every player has gotten the game for the Redmen. And the end one falls for Del Genio. The harm goes to Paige Crowley. That's her fourth personal. One more and she is done for the day. Knocks down the free throw as well. 46-34. Tewksbury in front with 2 minutes and change left in the contest. Tewksbury throws it away. And then Wilmington nearly throws it away. It stays with the Wildcats. Chris Vasori motioning his point guard to spike things up a little bit, down by 12. Del Genio gets right to the lane but can't convert on the layup. Reverse try from McCarthy, no. Rowan in some traffic, will jump it up. Tewksbury ball. It feels like some good chances by the wayside for Wilmington, down by 12. With 1:45 to go, Tewksbury 46, Wilmington 34. We'll step aside just one more time here from the Romano and we're right back for the final 1:45 after this. The final 1:45 of the fourth quarter here from the third place game of the girls division in the Romano tournament. Andrew Della Piana back with you. Tewksbury 46, Wilmington 34. Redmen trying to get out of their own backcourt and they can't do so. Wildcats have been bringing that full court press for a majority of this ball game. The Redmen have done a good job breaking it. A couple of costly turnovers with Wilmington down by 12. Going to need some quick buckets here. Boudreau can't get that started. It's front rim and bounces all the way out of bounds. 85 seconds to go in the contest. Redmen are over the timeline safely. Can start to eat a little bit more clock here. But Perrin doesn't want to do that. She goes and lays it in and scores. 48-34, the Redmen lead. With now 60 seconds to go in the ballgame. Inside feed, but before that, there was a foul. That one going against Olivia Rowan for Tewksbury. That fifth foul puts Wilmington in the bonus. It's Allie McElligott shooting two, takes care of the first. And she'll knock down the second as well. 48-36, the Redmen lead with 57 seconds to go. Crowley into the front court, 3-on-1. She'll decide to slow things down. And the Redmen just going to eat a little bit more clock here. After the quick bucket by Barron on that last possession. And she lost the handle on it. Coach McNaught crossing his hands on the Redmen bench. Thought they could have ate up a little bit more time on that possession, but they didn't do so. Boudreau, a deep three. Cash. And for the first time since it was 9-0 Redmen, it's a single-digit game. And a jump ball. Eva Boudreau can't believe it, but either way, it's Redmen ball. And Coach McNaught going to send the starters back in with 22 seconds to go. Not liking what he's seeing from this bench unit. Tewksbury 48, Wilmington 39. 22 seconds to go in the contest. Hasn't been easy for the Redmen to close this one out. Algenia lost the handle from behind. Pitcher might have gotten a piece of it. Stovsan on the other end of the floor. Can't put it home. Here comes Wilmington, down by 9 with 7 seconds to go. Trying to get one more basket. Collins a short floater. That one falls, but all it changes is the final score. The result, still the same. Tewksbury takes care of Wilmington 48-41 in the third place game of the girls division in the Tony Romano tournament. Redmen with the victory, finish 1-1 in this tournament, move to 3-2 on the campaign. For Wilmington, they go 0-2 in the Romano tournament to drop to 2-3 this season. Both these teams will play on Friday, next Friday I should say. Tewksbury will visit Leominster on the road, while the Wildcats will have a home game against Watertown. But that does it for our coverage of this one. Join us later tonight for the boys' championship between Burlington and Tewksbury, and what should be a good one. But for our entire crew at Tewksbury TV, Jason Marshall, our cameraman, our producer, director, really doing it all today. Appreciate all his help to make this one possible. I'm Andrew Del Piano saying so long from the Romano. We'll see you later tonight.